morning, aviation fans. This is Skywagon 55 Yankee getting ready to go. It's March the 8th, about 8 o'clock. Chilly last night. Last 2 days been blowing dust. Rain sideways. We finally got some rain here in Arizona, and that's good. It'll tamp down some of the dust. We got a lot of dust around here. We got a lot of desert out there. Everybody thinks it's all sand, but it's not. But anyway, 55 Yankee, been through annual in January. That was an experience. We'll talk about that a little bit, but all is well. She's back running like a top. Not that she ever left, but a little scare with compression checks, stuff like that, and just stuff that always gets your attention. I'll talk about that a little bit. But today's kind of unique. We're going to go out and see the snow above 4,500 feet. We had a real good snow yesterday with this rain that passed through, so it's an opportunity to get some nice pictures. Then after we get that, I'm going to head on down to Copper State, see if I can't see a few airplanes that are interesting, and maybe do some interviews down there. So I hope you're along. I hope you're having a great day. Here we go. Hey, taxiing out.
Twin Star 61 Echo Papa, roger.
Another busy day at Falcon Field. The trainers have been grounded for the last few days because of the weather.
Twin Star 61 Echo Papa, roger.
And they're all trying to make it up today. So I got to go get in line. Hey, look what I developed after almost 20 years of flying the airplane. Finally came out, printed up a checklist. Nice and handy. Good refresher. Now, who's it for? For the next owner.
Mike, roger. Once you leave the airspace, try
we'll see.
120.7.
Taxi check I did. Run up mixture rich. Throttle setting, engine instruments, amp meter, propeller, mags, carburetor heat. Engine operation is smooth. Cycle the prop. There we go. A little warm oil for you. And there's left. Both. Right. And both on two new repaired mags. Carb heat works fine. Back to idle. Let's see. Battle setting, flight instruments, runway heading is 040 set. Altitude we only go to 3,500 feet. Set in the autopilot window. Window. Let's go. Put 4P in here, direct 4P. That's just a spot holder. Don't have to do it. We're going to go straight out. Okay. Aero 660 set on the map. Radio set for departure. We got 2460 installed, and we're ready to go. Checklist complete. For takeoff, flight controls. Yoke left, left aileron up, right aileron down, and right yoke, right aileron up, left aileron down. Elevator working.
Oxford 3373 Falcon ground. Taxi to park via Delta. Good day.
Fuel on both. Stabilizer trim set. New flaps 0. Cowl flaps open. Mixture rich. Prop high RPM. Carb heat cold. Checklist complete. Falcon Field used to be a little Sleepy Hollow 30 years ago, but not anymore. Just busy, busy, busy. All new corporate hangars over here. Money. Can't go to Scottsdale, so they come here.
Cessna 55 Yankee, fly straight out, runway 4 right, clear for takeoff.
55 Yankee, clear for takeoff, straight out.
Cessna 55 Yankee, 4 right. Cessna 598 Mike Charlie, Falcon Tower, runway 4 right, line up and wait, traffic 2 mile final, traffic crosses downfield.
Right, line up, await, 8 Mike Charlie.
Nice board, 153 Romeo Romeo, make 1 left 360.
Alright, so I'm going to probably catch this guy in front of me. Oh, I'll
Oxford 1791, Falcon
pull
Tower,
it back a little bit.
Cross runway 4 right at Bravo, taxi via Delta 6, contact ground.
Going to 3,500 feet. I can see the snow ahead. It's beautiful out there. About 15, 20 miles to the east. We'll head on over there and take some pictures. just about done with our climb. We're up here a beam on the north end of Four Peaks. Now, Four Peaks, that might not mean much to you, but the people in the valley, Four Peaks is one of our landmarks. Autopilot's coming on. And not every day you get to see snow on Four Peaks. So I thought I'd give you a little look. Four Peaks is north of the Salt River, which is running right over here to my south. And whenever you operate around mountains, you gotta use common sense. Now the GPS is telling me the winds are out of the north and east, so I'm not going to get downwind of the rocks and the wind, because you can get thumped. So we're on the upwind side of the mountain. We're going to go by it and just take a look at it. Four Peaks consists of, it's called Four Peaks because it's got four little separate peaks are part of it.
5 miles north of Buckeye.
And it's up around 7,500 feet, so we'll just do a slow climb alongside of it. This is part of the Mazatzals. Yeah, easy for me to say. But they run north and south. There's another peak I can see, part of the Mazatzals up ahead, that Mazatzals, a little over 8,000 feet tall. But of course the big guy in the area is Humphreys Peak, and I'm looking for it. Yeah, there it is. Due north. That's 70 miles, and that goes up to 12,700 something, I think. What? Right? Anyway, that's the tall peak in Arizona. There's B-17 wreck up there. They were stationed out of Kingman. Flying along at night, I think it's 1944, and they miscalculated where they were. Started to let down. Started to let down. If you're letting down at night, and I don't let down at night until I see the city lights or my target, my destination lights. Then I know there's no rocks between me and it. Then I'll start down. Of course, nowadays, hit your air button. They go terrain. Wow. All right, so this is Four Peaks. Out the window checking. We'll have a wind meter. I don't know if we really got that. 5,300. We'll find out. That's those are Four Peaks. I don't feel a ripple up here, even though this is saying it's about 22 knots. I'm not feeling it. I'm going to put my wing down right now and out to the left. I don't know if you can see it or not. Out to the left, west, that's Phoenix. So that's snow on Four Peaks. We don't see it very often. Kind of neat to look at. Ahead of me, the Mazatzals, and then we have the Mogollon Rim, which is north of me and north of Payson. And of course, that's all got snow on it too. So we'll reverse direction here. I'll leave the cameras running in the turn, maybe get a chance to look at the Mazatzals up there. This is Tonto Basin out to the right, Roosevelt Lake, and of course there's a series of dams on Salt River. One named after Roosevelt, I think, was completed early 1900s. I think state was formed in 1912. I'm not sure if it was before the state or after the statehood. Anywho, we're going to head south and go north of Coolidge, and then we're going to go over to Casa Grande. Casa Grande supposedly got a Copper State fly-in today. All this stuff, it was nasty here yesterday. You wouldn't want to be up in a general aviation because you would have been in ice. But we needed the rain, and we got it. So we're headed south. We're going to go over to Copper State. Just coming across the Superstitions. Beautiful place to hike. December, January, February, a little bit of March before the snakes start coming out. Beautiful place to hike.
I think go.
Don't hike alone.
Now you got.
Know where you're at. Bring some GPS navigation equipment with you. Take a friend with you who knows the area. Don't hike alone. It's easy to get turned around in the superstitions, but beautiful place to hike. If you're visiting Phoenix in the wintertime, you should try that out. Look at that standby compass. I mean, that thing is just smooth. And that's why I like this P-Ponk conversion. The 3-blade prop, it's turbine smooth for the most part. Just before my annual in January, it was, let's get just a little bit of vibration. I'm going, what the heck's going on with this thing? Turned out to be ignition harness. And the mags on this annual were both repaired, so they're 0 timed. And the ignition harness, brand new. That cost $3,000. So bring your checkbook. What you get out of it is a smooth running engine. We did the compression checks, and initially I got a 42 and a 55 on 3 and 4, and that was very disturbing. So I hired a guy, a couple of IAs to come in, because last year we had to lap the valve on 4. There's a crud underneath the valve. And lap the valve, the exhaust valve on 4. Both the 3 and 4 were leaking on the exhaust valves. And so I need to improve my leaning technique, number 1. Number 2 is for peace of mind. Of course, I had these IAs come in and do a bore scope on the engine, because we're at 850 hours on this P-Ponk, and the P-Ponk was built with used cylinders, overhaul cylinders. So these cylinders got about total time over 1,300 hours, but in this build they were 0 timed since major overhaul and the creation of the P-Ponk engine. So they got about 850 hours. So of course they're going to leak past the rings, but exhaust valves unacceptable. So you got to check the exhaust valves to make sure you don't have an uneven burn pattern. That can lead to valve failure. And with valve failure, you're landed, okay? So we don't want that happening. So 2 IAs went in there and bore scoped the engine. Engine looks good, 3 and 4. Little traffic down there. Let me get my traffic advisory up here. Yeah, there you are. 3 and 4 exhaust valves looked a little cruddy. So, but he did a compression check, and the low one, well, it wasn't 42, the low one was 55, so I don't know. We did it wrong, we didn't measure the orifice right, not sure, but the low one was 55. The next lowest was 65, and the rest of them were over 70. This has got 850 hours on it. So I'm very pleased with that. So the plan is we are going to fly it for 10 hours, and then we'll pop the hood. I hate taking the cowling off these things because don't ever want to chip paint. But take the cowling off, I'll have my IAs come back and do another compression check, and we'll check it out and see what we got. If you read Mike Bush's book, he's in, I think he's in Savvy Aviation. I think he's a very smart guy. He's got a nice book out. If you're new to aviation, you need to know all your systems. I recommend you get Mike Bush's book on engines. All right, we're looking to go to Casa Grande here after our turn point, and we'll resume filming once we get over there. But I'll put up those numbers on the compression checks, on the second iteration of compression checks, and I felt a whole lot better after the second iteration. Plus the fact the engine was bore scope. And the valves look good, with the exception of 3 and 4, a little cruddy, but intake valves all clean, cylinders all look good, good crosshatch. So that gives you peace of mind. And if you're in the aviation community, you're new to it, make sure you surround yourself with people that know what they're doing, and build relationships, because you're going to need help if you're a private aircraft owner, unless you got a big bank account. then you can just hire your help. All right, let's go to. All right, we're here. We're here at Casa Grande. Let's see what the flagman wants us to do.
One is currently about Casa Grande traffic, red and yellow biplane lining up for runway 23.
And it's busy, 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 so.
The copper pit, Casa Grande.
Paying attention, taking off, landing, they're shooting ILS approaches.
That's runway 5. Publish, miss, and
Lots of fun. Okay, after landing checklist, cow flaps are opened, trim is coming back to takeoff position. Got some flagmen in front of me. Let's see what they want.
Casa Grande traffic, Skywagon 6 on Delta is left base for 5. Looks like we're number 2.
Okay, we're here. Goody.
Casa Grande traffic, Harrison 726, going miss, and we'll fly straight out for a bit, and then north departure, Casa Grande.
All right, John, tell us about this 180. In fact, why don't you stand over here by your airplane and we'll see this thing in the background.
Here comes another one. This one is a 1955 Cessna 180, and I've owned it for 30 years. Did a lot of work on this originally when I bought it. It came out of Placerville, Joe Stansel's place.
I know Joe Stansel.
Oh yeah, everybody does.
Yeah, he single-handedly raised the value of 180s about 20%, didn't he?
He certainly did. So I bought this long ago. It didn't have any radios in it. It had nothing. And it had the original J motor. So over the first, 5 or 6 years, it was in annual each of those years for about 6 months as we improved things.
Right.
Reskin the horizontal, reskin the flaps. Put a more modern engine in it, so it's got an 0470S.
Absolutely.
And new prop. It was just, the typical 180 ownership path of improve and fly, improve and fly.
Yeah.
And so we had it repainted in 1998.
Who did the paint for you?
This was done in Santa Paula.
I've heard about them,
Yeah, they were a really good paint shop. Kevin owned it at the time. And
I like your N number on the top of the wing there.
yeah, I wanted to go the classic original factory paint scheme.
Beautiful.
And
beautiful job.
Yeah, so the in 2015, flew it back to Oshkosh and won.
Yeah.
Which was a treat.
Wow.
Kind of unexpected, but
yeah.
So anyway, still enjoying it, still flying it.
Well, you're the kind of 180 owner that I love. You know what you have, and you're only going to have it for a certain amount of years. Mm-hmm. So you are a perfect steward of 3261 Delta. Joe, where are you hangared right now?
Right now I'm at Deer Valley. I was in Santa Paula for about 25 years with it, and moved to beautiful Arizona a number of years ago.
Right.
And so we're hangared at Deer Valley now.
Deer Valley, okay. Well, it's like Falcon. Falcon and Deer Valley are both saturated.
Yes.
It took me a while to get off the ground this morning out of Falcon because all those trainers are trying to make up for their time, right?
Of course.
Okay. Can I look inside your airplane,
Absolutely.
Joe?
That's the next thing to update is the panel.
Well, you know what? You got to do that kind of stuff, but you've got earlier panel, and one of the requirements I had when I was looking for an airplane is beautiful airplane, beautiful, very nice, is that I wanted the center stack so that I could get the radios in the middle there.
Exactly, and I custom designed my panel and milled it.
Right.
But that panel I did in '98 when we did the paint job. So it's time now to this next year. Hopefully, we'll upgrade it.
Sure.
And we'll make another one.
Joe, what's the last name?
It's John. Actually, it's John Castorina.
John Castorina, and I called you Joe, and you didn't smack me once.
Oh, I don't care.
Hey, John, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Beautiful airplane.
Thank you.
Bend them up. So.
Your name, sir?
Name is Carl Geisert.
And Carl, where are you in this 180 based?
We are based at Chandler.
Well, what?
Yep.
You went that far away to
You
get
know,
here,
it was a
huh?
long ride. You know. We brought lots of water.
Hey, Carl, how long you been flying this airplane?
My dad bought this airplane in 1968, so I pretty much learned to fly in it. Took my private check ride in it.
Yeah.
And I've had it, my brothers and I kind of traded back and forth with this, and I've had a few other airplanes. But this one wound up with me about probably 7-8 years ago, and I've had it ever since.
Now, Carl, tell us, we're going to get some airplane noise here in a second, but tell us about the model year of this 180, and if you know the serial number. I know I've already kind of pimped you on that already.
You already threw me under the bus on that one, so no, I do not know the serial number by heart, but it's a 53, so this is the first year they made the 180, 180 Skywagon. They're typically a little bit lighter. Every year they kept adding things, and they got heavier and heavier, so this one's very light. I think the empty weight on this one is right around 1,600, I think. Let's see, we haven't really done too much to it other than paint and a nice panel, but haven't cut into the metal. Doesn't have a baggage door. This year didn't have a baggage door. The very next year they added a baggage door. So.
Oh my goodness, I got to take a picture of that no baggage door 180. This is 1953.
I do.
How you doing? 1953. This thing is gorgeous. Carl, who painted this thing?
Don Copeland over at Eloy. Or Eloy.
Eloy?
Yep.
Oh
Don
my!
Copeland. Yep.
You have treated this airplane extremely well. Oh, this is over the top, Carl. This is over the top. You have done Cessna proud. You've really taken care of this machine.
We had 2018 maybe. I think we got the paint by Don.
Yeah.
And then about a year after that, I did a new panel, IFR panel. And then we had the interior done over at Falcon Field by AZ Aircraft Interior Design.
Oh, I know them. Yeah, I know them.
So
bring your checkbook.
Yep. They did a hell of a job, though.
They do excellent work,
Yeah,
and I can tell that
work.
just by peeking in there.
Yeah,
That is beautiful. You have a beautiful Cessna, Carl.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for showing it to us.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Look at this, folks. These are the original speed pants on a Cessna 180 with fairings over the brakes as well. My goodness. This is a beautiful airplane. That's why we like 180s, and we love owners that take care of their 180s. Love them. God, that's gorgeous. That's why I'm not down here competing with you and John, because I know I'd get my ass wiped.
I've been thinking about you, babe, you're my one desire. Gonna wrap my arms around you and hold you close to me. Oh, babe, I wanna taste your lips, I wanna be a fantasy, yeah. I don't know what I'd do without you, babe, I don't know where I'd be. You're not just another lover, no, you're everything to me. Every time I'm with you, baby, I can't believe it's true. When you lay in my arms and you do the things you do, you can see it in my eyes, I can feel it in your touch. You don't have to say a thing, just let me show how much I love you, need you.
Well, all right, we're back on the ground. We're back at Falcon. I had some difficulties with the GoPros again. I don't know. Like I said in the previous video, maybe it's me. I don't know. But I ran footage of 4 peaks in the snow, 5 minutes. The battery's showing yellow. Couldn't get the GoPro to kick on final approach here back at Falcon. Falcon was a zoo. I mean, all the training aircraft that are trying to make up for 3 days of crap weather, they're all out there trying to get their bounces in. And then you got your regular guys who come out on the weekends to fly. So the tower guys, they must be popping circuit breakers up there because it's just a mess. But somehow it seems to work. And of course, the training's got, and the training in real life for ATC doesn't get better. I mean, a training tower is pretty hard work at times. It really is. So they're training to go someday down to Sky Harbor. So I hope they hope get all the training they need. That's a hard career. I really enjoyed and appreciate the people in air traffic control. They work hard for their money. They really do. And they do a good job to keep us safe. Some people don't agree with that, but those people that don't agree with it don't know their you-know-what from a hole in the ground. We're back. Got to clean it up. A little touch up here and there. Look for some bugs. Put the dust covers back on it because it's just a dusty hangar for some reason. Certainly doesn't keep the dust out. But got some footage. You saw there at the end, there was a bunch of antique airplanes in there. Took some pictures of those for you. Really enjoyed meeting the 2 owners of the 180s. Those were beautiful airplanes, just beautiful. And when you can't afford to follow your airplane around with an open checkbook, it's time to sell it to somebody else. I hope you're having a beautiful day. May God bless your entire day and the rest of your week. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you later.